Hey, good afternoon guys. Monday afternoon, March 9th, and it is absolutely gorgeous out here. I'm going to call this a John Kerry day. It's about plus 4 degrees Celsius, and it's absolutely fabulous. I don't care, it's only plus 4. It's probably the only day that's been above 0 in the last 2 to 3 months, I would say. So, quite happy. It's almost like summer. Anyway, things are starting to melt, which is great. Making a bit of a mess, but yeah, it's good to see some pavement. Anyway, we're going to be out in the garage today, and we'll find some more stuff to do once we get in there. Poor thing. You'll be back in the garage soon. Alright guys, I've just gone through my boxes, and I just happened to go through the top box. Doesn't really matter what box I go through at the moment. Just looking for stuff to do, so I thought maybe we'd work on the fan and the crank snout. So they're looking a little worse for wear, a little rusty. Anyway, we'll probably, I don't have new rubber washers or bushings for this fan, so I may have to order those. They're pretty hard and cracked. Anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll put this in the blaster. I see these fins are painted on this side, and on this side they're not, or maybe they were at one point and the paint's just worn off. But I think what we'll try to do is we'll blast this down, and then we'll paint the center section of the fan black. And I'm not sure what I'll do with the blades. I may actually try to polish them, or in the end I may just paint them with aluminum paint. We'll see what happens. We'll see if I can get them to come up. Once I get this paint off, I'll see if I can get them to polish up a little bit. If not, like I said, I'll just resort to aluminum paint. It'll be 100% better than what it looks like now. That's about it for now, guys. I'll warm the compressor up, and we'll give you a shot when this is completed. This will probably take me a couple hours, I would imagine. So well, let's get to it. Alright guys, Tuesday, March 10th, just about 6:30 in the evening. And we're back out in the garage. Just had some dinner, so we're back out here for an hour or two. I did get those parts painted yesterday or last night, and we let them dry overnight. I wanted to work on that fan some more last night, but I figured it'd be better if I let it dry overnight versus trying to work on it while the paint was still soft. So we're going to finish that fan off tonight, and we'll again unmask it and try to polish those fins up a little bit like I'd mentioned in yesterday's video. I did get the crank snout painted, so we'll give you a shot of that later on too once I get it off the rack. Alright guys, we'll work on polishing that up. Alright guys, touch coming back at you. I'm going to call the fan done. I think it looks 100% better than it did. I did want to polish this a bit further, but it's starting to wear the paint off the edges where I'm getting some of the polishing compound on, so I'm just going to stop. It's going to get tarnished pretty quickly anyway. It's kind of ridiculous even bothering to polish this, but it does look better. It looks pretty darn good. So I got it not too bad. I think we're just going to leave it at that. We have a chance of making it worse, so we'll just go with that. Like I said, I think it looks a lot better. So let's move on to something else. I think we're going to move on to the old fuel pump. I'll take some pictures. Alright guys, have a look at this old fuel pump. So yeah, it's definitely seen better days, I think. I'm actually not even really sure that this pump works. I'm going to assume that it works. We'll clean it up best we can and see how good we can get it to come up. I'm probably pretty sure this actually works. But anyway, let's clean it up, see how good of a job we can do. You can see it's pretty nasty. It's got some old gas in there that's all nice and yellow, all varnished. And this looks like it's got a bunch of hair and God knows what in there. Grease. So anyway, let's clean it up and see how well we can get this to come up. So there's the before picture, and we'll give you the after. Not sure how long this is going to take me, but we'll start it and see how it goes. Guys, just coming up to 8:45, and I've got all the individual components broken down and pretty much cleaned up as far as we're going to go. We're not going to go too crazy with it. There's the bottom piece. I've cleaned that up as best as I can. I took the spring out, cleaned the lever, cleaned the internals. There's the spring for the diaphragm. There's the top with the valves. I did scavenge a new screen and gasket from this brand new pump that I have. It's a made in Taiwan special. That'll be the backup pump for the car. So I've already got one of those, but I figured I'd rather go with the original if I could, the original AC pump, as you can see there. So that looks much better, nice and clean. The bowl cleaned up really well, nice thick glass bowl, so that's in good shape. And then there's the original diaphragm, which I'll have to get a new one of, but we'll just put this back in for now. This will probably last longer than that Taiwanese one anyway. So that's about it. The last piece I've got is just up there hanging drying, which is the little keeper for the glass bowl, glass sediment bowl. So once we get that painted, another couple coats, we'll reassemble and I'll show you the finished product. Alright guys, we'll come back in a little bit. Alright guys, end of night update. It's about 10:15 on Tuesday night, and here's a quick update just with some shots of the completed parts. So I've showed you the fan already and I'm happy with that. There's the crank snout painted with the exception of the bottom where the mating surface is. So that looks good. And the finished fuel pump. So that looks 100% better than it did. It could probably be polished a bit more, but you know what? I think it looks pretty darn good. It looks a lot better than it did when I showed it to you earlier in the night. So yeah, I think it's functioning. It's got suction, so that's good. So yeah, so I'm quite happy with the way that turned out. Like I said, we'll put this on the car and hopefully it'll work. If not, we've got the backup pump ready to go. So that's it for tonight, guys. We'll get out here tomorrow night and we'll work on something else. Alright, talk to you later. Have a good night.